All right, so welcome to this masterclass on innovation in B2B commerce. I just wanted to start with something kind of interesting. This past weekend, I was glued to the TV. I was watching the comeback of Tiger Woods. Not sure how many of you guys saw this. I loved every minute of it. I do like golf. I'm not very good at golf, but I love golf. So on Sunday, Tiger Woods started 4 shots back of the leader in the PGA Championship, which really put him in contention to actually win it. I don't know how that's in contention. 4 strokes back. If I was 4 strokes back, that would not put me in contention. I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel like sometimes you feel like you're 4 shots back, or more than 4 shots back as you start this journey on e-commerce? I know many of you do feel that way. But I was out on Sunday afternoon. I had an appointment I had to go to. So I was out that Sunday afternoon. But my wife is an avid sports fan. And she kept me in the loop. And at one point in the middle of the round, she said to me, Tiger hasn't hit a fairway yet. Which is crazy. Like, they're through a hole 9 or 10 and he hadn't hit a fairway yet. And if you know anything about golf, it's really, really hard to score well when you're not hitting the fairways. And not hitting the fairway continued to test Tiger Woods all the way through his round. He had to keep hitting innovative shots from all over the golf course, like literally all over the golf course. From the woods, from the sand, next to the creek at one point. And I actually know what this is like. I often hit it to the next fairway. So I know it's like I don't know like it's like to make the innovative shots where the great second shot after you've hit a bad first shot. But that's what Tiger Woods kept doing, literally just from all over the golf course. Really just had a heck of a round. But just highs and lows to the whole time. All the time the spectators are just cheering him on. But Tiger ended up in second place next to Brooks Koepka. And so Tiger shot a 64, which is a great score. But it was his interview afterwards that kind of struck me, and it has something to do with what we're talking about today. They asked him about those drives. They asked him about not being able to hit a fairway the whole round and just what was happening. And he said this, and it's so interesting, and it really hit me. He said this. He said, listen, I couldn't hit the fairway. So I just had to decide, am I going to miss left or am I going to miss right? He had to decide whether he's going to miss left or miss right. So first of all, to decide which side to miss on takes an incredible amount of skill, right? You have to have this foundation of skill to even be able to say that, to decide to hit left or right. When I decide to hit left, I hit straight. When I decide to hit right, I hit to the left. Because of my lack of skill, my lack of foundation on my own golf game. But he was able to do that. To shoot 64 and get second place, he had to be incredibly innovative with his shots. To decide which direction you're going to miss, you have to have the skills and the foundation. The best innovation that I am seeing today, the best innovation that I'm seeing, that I've experienced in my career, derives from companies that have this incredible foundation and skill set, yet they're always innovating on their misses. When they miss, they kind of understand, hey, I am going to miss. But their second shot is incredible. They pivot on their misses. They create a hypothesis. They test. They change. They track what they're doing, and then they optimize it, and then they repeat the whole cycle. And yet, for most of you, your foundation is pretty weak that you're building on. And your plan looks a little bit like this, just kind of herding cats. I love this. I've been using this video all the time recently. I think it's just a great word picture. So, listen, this is going to be a great webcast. Really appreciate you being here. If you do have questions during this webcast, if you're on Facebook Live, we have a B2B eCommerce Secrets Facebook group for those of you that like Facebook. We're streaming live on there now. Ask questions in Facebook. Just put a comment. If you're on Zoom, just put a comment in the question box for yourself. So, listen, because of the foundation and needing the foundation and really trying to understand, like, what does a foundation look like? How do you actually talk about innovation? And what context do you talk about innovation with customers? We've just developed the very first B2B e-commerce system and framework, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it today, but it does play into innovation. And this is a systematic way of planning, a systematic way of executing and innovating inside of your organization, whether you're a manufacturer or whether you're a distributor. It's a systematic way of doing that. And this is a comprehensive look at all the aspects that you need, from plan to the people and resources to the technology like e-commerce and PIM, product information management, and marketing automation. How do you build taxonomies in product content? How do you build the right user experience? How do you track all of this in a B2B e-commerce environment, which is different than B2C? And how do you run and get your internal people to adopt it, and what are the marketing and operations that you need? At the center of that is a customer. Everything we do reflects around the customer. So this is a brand new system. Not going to talk a lot about it today. We also, along with this system, we've developed a maturity model that describes all the stages a company needs to go through for success. It also lays the foundation for not just going step by step. How do you go foundation to adoption, or get to the end of foundation and move to adoption? And how do you get all the way through adoption? It's not just about that. It's also about, for companies that are saying, how do we make e-commerce? And this is how it ties into innovation. How do we make e-commerce not just 10, 15% of our revenue? How do we make e-commerce the growth engine, the accelerant in our business? How do we double our company using e-commerce? Do you know that companies in retail and B2C, that's how they look at e-commerce? They look at e-commerce as the method by doubling their company or tripling the size of their company. It's how we use e-commerce inside of our organization to look at how do we double our company and triple our company. And there's also a path here through maturity of how do we go from foundation all the way to acquisition? How do we skip adoption and reposition and actually get to that, which is pretty cool. Again, not going to spend a lot of time on it. We do, if this is interesting to you, we've just written a book. It's just a couple weeks of being away from being published, called The Digital Branch Secrets. It's about 125 pages, so really, really easy to make your way through. And it launches just a little bit. If you want to be on the pre-list, there's digitalbranchsecrets.com for when it launches. So definitely check it out. Okay, but how does this tie in? So as part of the system, really a part of everything we talk about. Well, before we talk about acquisition, before we talk about innovation, I want to kind of set the context for where we're seeing the most innovation. Most companies have to decide right now about, are we going to do acquisition or adoption? If you're kind of moving stage by stage through this, they are typically determining, hey, what are we going to focus on? Not that we don't want to do customer acquisition, but they have to decide, do we want to make this a tool for our current customers to use, which is adoption, or are we going to use this tool for acquisition? Most companies have to choose between one or the other, and that's okay. However, if, as many companies are doing today, I want to talk about e-commerce, especially innovation on the adoption side. There's a lot of information out there about acquisition, but how do we look at innovation from a customer adoption perspective, and then how does it actually feed into acquisition? And I want to present a hypothesis. This is a hypothesis that we've been working through with our current customers. It's an innovative hypothesis, and that is this. Most B2B companies, they create websites that are focused on themselves and not the customer. Would you agree with that? If you've seen my B2B e-commerce in real life video, we take a kind of a satirical look at what most distributors and manufacturers' websites look like, and basically saying that it's all focused on you. It's all focused on you. It's all focused on what you do and your services. It's not focused on the company, the customer, sorry. Yet, app companies, companies that build apps. They're building these applications out there that are hyper focused on the customer. You look at QuickBooks. With QuickBooks, so many of your customers use QuickBooks. When you look at QuickBooks, as soon as I log into QuickBooks, gone is anything about QuickBooks. It's all about me and the stuff that I'm trying to do, the work that I'm doing as a customer. They're not marketing QuickBooks anymore. This is about me and all the things that I have to accomplish. Isn't e-commerce in B2B? Isn't e-commerce in a B2B setting, isn't it an application that helps your customers buy from you? Isn't it? Isn't it a tool to help your customer make the best selection, the best transaction, the best self-service? Isn't it just an application that helps your customer? So why wouldn't this tool be closer to what the app companies are doing, and why wouldn't it be 100% focused on the customer? I'm telling you, this is the way things are going in the B2B world. Very soon, you're going to see what I'm about to show you. You're going to start seeing it pop up on companies, and actually already, I'm going to show you some examples of where it's already showing up. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't in a B2B world that is so customer focused, that's so relationship focused, why wouldn't, when they log in, why wouldn't it be all about them? Who cares about you? Why, at that point, should we market? Yes. But do you need to market in the traditional ways that you're looking at? So I speak very loudly and passionately. So I'll be taking just a few second breaks through this process. So this is kind of the traditional method, and even this is a little more innovative. This is really wireframes and stuff that we have been doing, the work that we're doing with customers. But I think it has so much value for you to share with you. Even this wireframe, this is a little more traditional. Although you see at the top of this, I'm going to get out my laser pointer for this. You can see at the top here how this is, it's a little bit more about them, right? My ship to, my open orders, quotes, invoices, a little more dashboardy, right? And then this kind of my account is all about me. But in general, it's all about Acme Industrial, their locations, their services, their markets, their resources, their contact, right? Their phone number. Instead of being all about the customer, couldn't we push the envelope? What would it look like if we push the envelope? When a registered user logs in, could we focus just on them? Just their job, just their needs, not your marketing? Can we make their experience unique, rich, and hyper obsessed about the customer? I've been doing a lot of studying on Amazon and had a lot of opportunities to talk to Amazon execs that are running Amazon business. And let me tell you one thing, Amazon business is not focused on creating an Amazon-like experience. Amazon business is doing exactly what Amazon did. They look at their customer, they look at the product, and they say, how do we help that customer do their job with that product as easy as possible? And they're building the experience. They're building the experience that makes the most sense for their customer. They're not modeling Amazon.com right now. They're trying to remove that friction that exists within that customer experience. And I'm telling you, it's going to look a lot more like what I'm about to show you. So in general, what I'm about to show you are things that are being done today. I know because we're doing it with customers. These are things that are being done today with customers. They're being done today in the marketplace. This is technology that exists today. There's nothing pie in the sky here. Just nobody has taken the time to combine these for a B2B experience, but the technology exists today. The technology exists often in a SaaS environment too, which means most of the time relatively inexpensively. I want to re-envision what would happen if we think about the customer experience in a different way, where it's hyper obsessed about the customer. Notice this is all about Acme Industrial. It kind of looks like a website, right? Looks like a traditional website. And it's cool. It's good. There's a pretty good user experience here. But what would happen if we reimagined it? What would happen if Jason logged in and Jason works for DB Supply, and instead of Jason with DB Supply showing Acme Industrial, what if it was all about Jason and DB Supply? What if it looked like an application that helped them do their job? And I'm going to show you some pretty interesting things here. Again, I'm going to show you what the experience looks like, and then I'm actually going to walk you through the technology that exists today to actually be able to do this. So notice on this page, the first thing, we have Anna. Anna is asking a question. There's no search box, but this is a search box. Welcome back, Jason. You have new notifications that I can click on. Please let me know if I can help you with anything. Very personable, right? Is Anna a bot? Is Anna a person? Who knows? We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. Notifications. What if all the activity for that customer was combined? What if we were proactively notifying the customer and text messages were going out? When they logged in here, they saw the same notifications that, yes, it's not just about orders. What if it's about quotes and orders and shipments? What if it's all combined here in notifications? What if we're letting the customer know what's happening? And by the way, this also looks pretty responsive, right? So you can imagine how this would apply in the application world if you actually had a real app. And then this is an activity line. What if it wasn't just about the customer and their orders, but what if CRM information, quote information, order information, text information, email information, when you're emailing back and forth from the customer, what if that was combined into a single activity line where it's not just about, yes, we approved a quote and we shipped the order, we added 4 products to this quote, we created a new order, but what if it included other things like chat messages back and forth between Jason and their rep. Karen's their rep. Karen's their sales rep or their inside sales rep. And it's personal. It's not just about bots and technology, and it's about people too in that relationship. What if we were extending that relationship online and we saw the activity line together? So Karen Smith says, hey, Jason, this is someone, Karen's typing this, type this in. Hey, Jason, your quote has been updated. And then we said, thanks, Karen. What if we were combining things together instead of looking at silos across? What if our analytics weren't about just our analytics as distributors and manufacturers, but if analytics were focused on the customer to provide them ordering? In a recent interview with MDM, the MDM podcast, Modern Distribution Management, the head of Amazon Business said they're collecting data and analytics for customers to show them their orders and procurement and ordering patterns. This is that same thing. I did this before I heard that. But this is actually a repackaging of Internet Retailer, a keynote I did at Internet Retailer on innovation in B2B. And I did this before I heard that podcast. But this is the same thing about combining analytics, showing your customer their ordering patterns, their procurement patterns. What if beyond the homepage, it wasn't just about their orders, but what if we extended that? And what if search looked a little bit different? What if search just wasn't just text search? What if search included voice search? And what if it also included things like being able to upload an image here? I can step through this. So what if I could grab a image from my camera and upload it? And then what if search actually matched that image with an image that it has in the database? And what if it just wasn't a result? What if it was we uploaded the image and then Anna says, "This is the item you wanted, Jason." And we can say yes, and we just add it to the cart. What if it was more conversational like that? I'm not pretending that this is what your experience is going to look like, but this is a reimagining it from the customer's perspective of making it so easy. Yes, this is the item I want. Or in this case, Jason's about to say, no, that's not the item I wanted. So Anna comes back and says, okay, I found some other items that match your search image. If none of these are correct, click here. Again, conversational, back and forth, great customer experience. I'm now able to pick other ones. If I click on A.O. Smith, that water heater, what happens? Are you ready to submit this order? So now I've selected it. Notice we have some other things going on here. I've selected this Weil McLean thermostat, and I have this water heater, and we've given all these items together in a single package, where it's not just the water heater, it's the tank fittings. We're doing merchandising along the way, and instead of giving an order, we're going to do a real-time quote. What's this customer? What's their pricing? What's their quote level? This is not a back and forth with a real person. We're doing real-time quoting here. We're integrating back with quoting engines to get this information and create a real-time quote for a customer. Are you ready to submit this as an order? Submit it as an order. If I say no, I'm not ready to submit this as an order. It says, hey, show me a cheaper thermostat that's highly rated. Sure, here's some options. Again, so we're including not just regular search, not just image search, but normal language search, natural language search, as it's called, natural language processing. Show me a cheaper thermostat that's highly rated. I could have said that into my phone or into my computer, and then it says, sure, here's some options. Here's some other options. I can select this one and add it to my shopping cart. Excuse me for a second. So, are you done with this order? Yes. And then immediately, would you like a shipping quote for this order? Yes. And instead of all this back end quoting stuff that happens where we just do the shipment at the end of the process, we actually have real data to be able to put together a shipping quote for that customer. And now it's more natural language. Your items are all in stock. We'll ship together on May 5th. Here's your shipping details. Maybe it gives you a cost as well, of course. Is that correct? Yes. If you place your order right now, it'll arrive in 48 hours. Yes. Pretty incredible. Would you like to place your order now? Yes. Perfect. I've placed your order for you. Here's your tracking number. Thanks for ordering with Jason. We appreciate your business. Pretty interesting way of thinking through this, isn't it? Now, Jason says, I think I have it here. Listen, she said, please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you today. I'm having a problem getting credit on an item I returned last month. Now, hold on a second. What we've just experienced is Anna is not a person. Anna's a bot. Anna's a bot. She's not just a chat bot answering questions. She's a software bot going out and doing things, using microservices to actually do things on behalf of the customer. And Anna realizes, hey, that's above my pay grade as a bot, right? So I'll get someone to help you with that 1 second. And then on the phone, on the chat, comes Sophie from the credit department. And Sophie is a real person. Listen, this is B2B. This is about people. We need people as part of this. Some stuff is complex. We want to do this kind of stage by stage, so including real people in it, but combining software to allow a person just to jump in the middle of this conversation. Hey, Joseph, this is Sophie in the credit department. Hey, is it easier that we go on this phone? Okay, to call you now at 917. Okay, that's Jason's number. So we have his information from the CRM. And then Sophie says, great, ringing you now. We've now taken this conversation offline, or we can continue it in chat. What does your customer prefer? Maybe in the CRM, Jason prefers to be called. And we know that or if it didn't prefer to call, then she just continue working through this problem with chat. Combining CRM, e-commerce, search, chatbots, image search, all together into a single platform that benefits the customer. And we're including real people too. I think that's a pretty incredible innovation story. This is something we're doing with customers today. This is not something that's in the future. These are things that we're doing with customers. Does it take work? Yes. But all this technology exists today. And I'd like to show you some of this technology that exists. So first of all, if you listen to the podcast, which is B2B eCommerce Secrets, it's found at www.b2beecommercesecrets.com or on iTunes or on Google Play. A little shameless plug, but it's free. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it? If you like podcasts, check it out. So there's some good ones in there. Not all of them are good. We're still working through the kinks. So this is, I just announced this. This is not this last episode, but the episode before. I talked about how Amazon just launched this sneaky little app in their iPhone iOS app. And you'll notice that next to the search box, they sneakily included it. There's now an image button. And what is this image button? I've got some screenshots on what it is. But Amazon quietly acquired a company called PartPick about 18 months ago. PartPick was an industrial image search application founded out of Georgia Tech University, one of their innovators or incubators. Amazon quietly acquired them and started building a very, very big image database that they can match. And they launched it for fasteners to start off. So you click on this little image button and up starts Part Finder. Part Finder looks like this. They say on a white surface, place a penny next to but not touching the part. Hold the phone directly above the part. Tilt the phone to bring the circle to the center of the crosshairs. Start scan. So when you start scan, we hit Part Finder. By the way, actually Part Finder became a part of this. This is always a part of the iOS app because you could do bar scanning and things like that. Now they have Part Finder included on it. So I click Part Finder and I set a penny. They've just done it with fasteners, first of all. Aren't fasteners a big pain in the butt for your customers to find? Which fastener? Is it a 1/4 inch? Is it an 1/8 inch? Is it a 1/2 inch? How do you tell? So they say set a penny next to your fastener and start the scan. Pretty incredible stuff. It then zeroes in on the penny, zeroes in on the part, and actually analyzes it, finds what product it is, what head style it is, tells you which it is, and actually walks you through guided navigation and attributes to find what you're looking for. And it locates the screws that you're looking for. I actually don't think these are 1/2 inch is not correct. For these results are actually not correct. But that is correct. 1/2 inch diameter. And now you can see what Amazon had to do this is, first of all, have the technology. I'll show you some other technology that exists out there to be able to do this. But more importantly is the data that they're building. The data is so incredible for them because they're building a data of images, and they probably have to have 3D images, a lot of their product, and diameters and dimensions and weights and sizes and lengths and widths and all that. But this is technology that exists today. Amazon is quietly doing this. That should scare all of us. Chatbots. Here's current tech. I'm going to show you a little about Amy in just a second. Amy she's an assistant. If you've worked with me in the past, maybe you've gotten Amy as an assistant who actually schedules all my meetings, and you will never know about Amy. Mitsuku by Pandarats, Duplex by Google, a realistic human voice. I don't know if you saw the video by Duplex, but it was a bot that called a restaurant, set an appointment for that restaurant, and it was very difficult to even know that it wasn't a human. She even did some pauses. She said in the middle of it. It was incredible. And then, of course, the things you know about, which is our Alexa, Siri, Cortana. These are great chatbots. These things are available today. I want to share with you Amy because she's pretty incredible. This is a conversation between me and my creative director. And I say, Amy, can you set up a meeting with Chris to discuss IRCE? It's an email I sent from myself to Amy, and I copied Chris on my email. And then Amy emails Chris very quickly. So that was 10:50 that I wrote it. She pauses a little bit and sends Chris an email at 11:24 and says, hey, Chris, happy to find a time for you and Justin. Would Wednesday, May 9th work? I mean, this looks like a real person, doesn't it? If these times don't feel free to select another time that might work better for you. And that's a link that I can select another time. Or if you reply back, Amy will say, if you reply back and tell Amy, no, none of those times work, she'll do it again. He actually wrote back and asked to schedule at a different time, and Amy knows my schedule. She's integrated with my schedule. She's integrated with Office 365, and she says, hi, Chris, unfortunately, Justin's not available. How about Tuesday, May 15th? Also these. And if I can reply back, Chris can reply back and say, yeah, Tuesday at May 15th works just fine. Amy says, I wanted to follow up with you about the meeting. Chris hasn't replied back. Would Tuesday, May 15th work? Hi, Amy. Yes, that works. Thank you. From Chris. Hi, Chris. Thanks for letting me know. I'll go ahead and send out an invite. And she sends out an invite. Guys, this is a real life bot. I have used Amy. I actually have an assistant, a real assistant as well. But when I use Amy, I have gotten on the phone with many a customer. And I get on the phone with many a customer, and they say to me, hey, is Amy joining the call? They didn't realize Amy was a bot. That's the direction AI is going. That's the direction chatbots are going. Some other tech to let you know about. This is recognition by Amazon. This kind of plays into the part pick, the part finder. And you can actually use their API to do image recognition. Build it up with your own database and be able to do recognition. They're offering this as an API service that you can actually tap into. Very incredible, very fast. This right now is just recognizing people, but there's also, it's recognizing words and other things, and you can see the direction they're going. Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, they're all putting their muscle behind deep learning and image recognition because of the benefits they're going to bring to them. Huge archives of images, huge AI sets, huge data sets. Notice this data set, right? Data set is data that you have to build. Will there be data sets available for you? Sure, at some point, I'm sure. But for now. So this technology that we see, it all exists today. It's available today. It's available for you today. Are you taking advantage of it? Be curious to know. Hey, if you have any questions, write sarah.falcon@b2xpartners.com, and she can help you get an appointment scheduled with me if you'd like to. Go to digitalbrandsecrets.com. Check out the book. It's pretty. I'm very proud of it. We put a lot of hard work into it. Creating a book is no joke. Digitalbrandsecrets.com. It's not launched yet, but if you put your name on there, it'll let you know as soon as it's launched. It'll be available on Amazon, but we're going to do a free book thing to our network as well. So get signed on to there as soon as possible. I'm going to see if there are any questions, and we'll go from there. I don't see any questions in Q&A. Is there any questions in Facebook? Okay. Very good, everyone. Appreciate your time. Reach out to us at any point. Love to chat with you. I hope it was valuable. Hey, if you have other topics you want to discuss, let us know what they are. Search, product data, strategy, user experience, marketing, operations. What are you struggling with? Love to share it with you. Thank you very much.